Hello, friends. The Social Security Administration does not treat everyone the same, and the rules that apply to you depend entirely on the year you were born. Your full retirement age is different, your claiming options are different, and the mistakes that can permanently cut your check are different too. Right now, in 2026, there are people in every single one of these groups receiving less than they deserve, or about to make a choice they cannot undo. The reason is simple. Nobody ever sat them down and explained what the current rules actually mean for their own specific situation and birth year. Today I am going to do exactly that. So find your group, listen carefully to what applies to you, and stay until the very end of this video. Before we get into the groups, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do that right now and turn on the bell notification. Here is why it genuinely matters to you. The rules around Social Security change constantly, and they include earnings limits, premiums, and claiming ages. When those rules change, the Social Security Administration does not send you a personal letter explaining what is new and how it affects your money. They change the policy and expect you to already know about it. And what I do here is break those changes down before the deadlines pass you by. Every group I am covering today has something specific happening in 2026 that affects them directly, and subscribers here find out about it in time. The people who are not subscribed tend to find out after the wrong decision, after the deadline, and after the money is already gone from their hands. Hit subscribe, turn on the bell, and let us get into it right now, because Group 1 is something a lot of people over 70 are missing completely. Group 1 is for people born between 1943 and 1954, which means you are between 72 and 83 years old and have been collecting for quite a while now. Your full retirement age was 66, and at this point, most people in your group assume there is absolutely nothing left to check. But that is not true. A significant number of widows and widowers in this age range are collecting their own retirement benefit when the survivor benefit would pay them more. The survivor benefit can be up to 100% of what your late spouse was receiving, and sometimes that number is much higher than your own. If you lost a spouse and never asked the agency to compare both records and switch you to the higher one, you may have been leaving money behind for years. Call the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213 and ask them to pull both figures side by side and compare them directly for your situation. The second thing for this group involves Medicare, specifically the income-related monthly adjustment amount surcharge that gets added to your Part B premium. If your income was higher in a previous year due to a property sale or a Roth conversion, Medicare may still be charging you extra based on that old income. In 2026, the surcharges range from an extra $81 to nearly $487 on top of your standard Part B premium of $202.90 each month. The appeal form is called SSA 44, and it exists specifically for people whose income dropped because of a life-changing event like retirement or losing a spouse. If you are paying more than $202.90 a month for Medicare Part B right now, it is absolutely worth calling to ask why that amount is so high. Group 2 is for people born between 1955 and 1959, which means you are between 67 and 71 years old, and this is the most important group in 2026. The rules are different for every single birth year in this range, and most people do not know their specific full retirement age down to the exact month. If you were born in 1955, your full retirement age is 66 and 2 months. And for 1956, it is 66 and 4 months, so each year shifts by 2 more months. For 1957, it is 66 and 6 months. For 1958, it is 66 and 8 months. And for 1959, it is 66 and 10 months. So that is your number, not 66 and not 67. This matters because people in this group are making or have recently made their claiming decision, and the difference between right and wrong is permanent. If you were born in 1957 and claimed at age 62, your benefit was reduced by approximately 27.5%, and it stays that way for the rest of your life. On a benefit of $2,000 a month, that means roughly $550 less every single month. And over 20 years, that adds up to about $132,000 lost. The Social Security Administration does not remind you of this before you claim. They simply process your application and the reduced amount becomes your number. For people in this group who have not claimed yet, every month you delay past your full retirement age earns you about 0.2% more permanently. That adds up to roughly 8% per year, and between your full retirement age and age 70, you can build up to 24 to 31% more per month for life. And for those in this group who are working and collecting before full retirement age, the 2026 earnings test limit is $24,480 for the year. If you earn more than that, the agency withholds $1 for every $2 over the limit. But the money is not gone because it gets credited back later. Group 3 is for people born between 1960 and 1965, which means you are between 61 and 66 years old, and your full retirement age is exactly 67 for everyone. Claiming at age 62 with a full retirement age of 67 reduces your monthly benefit by 30% permanently, and that is the largest reduction the formula allows. On a $2,000 monthly benefit, that is $600 less every single month for life, and over a 20-year retirement, that is $144,000 in lost income. The Social Security Administration will process your early claim without stopping to warn you. They ask if you understand the reduction, and the reduced amount becomes permanent. There is also a claiming option most people in this group are not aware of, and it involves retroactive payments that you can request after reaching your full retirement age. If you apply after age 67, you can request up to 6 months of retroactive benefits, meaning the agency pays you as if you had applied up to 6 months earlier. On a $2,000 monthly benefit, that could mean a lump sum of up to $12,000 with your very first check, though it slightly lowers your ongoing amount. For people in this group who are still a few years away from claiming, the single most important step you can take right now is checking your earnings record today. Go to SSA.gov, create a My Social Security account if you do not already have one, and open your Social Security statement to review every year of earnings listed. One incorrect year from an employer who submitted the wrong payroll amount or a freelance job that was never recorded can reduce your monthly benefit going forward. Find it now while you still have time to correct it with documentation, because fixing it after you have already claimed is much harder and sometimes impossible. Group 4 is for people born in 1966 or later, which means you are 60 or younger and you are not close to claiming yet. But that is exactly why this matters. Your full retirement age is 67. Claiming at 62 means a 30% permanent reduction, and waiting until 70 means up to 24% more than your full benefit. Those numbers are set by law, but what is not set yet is whether your earnings record is accurate, and the Social Security Administration has been tracking it for decades. That data came from your employers over the years, and every year there was an opportunity for something to go wrong with a number or a report that got missed. Each error that goes uncorrected can reduce your monthly benefit when you eventually claim, and documentation like old pay stubs and W-2 forms gets harder to find over time. Go to SSA.gov, open your statement, and compare the earnings listed for each year against whatever records you have, and if something does not match, then file a correction. Do it now while you still have the paperwork and while the fix is free, because waiting another 10 or 15 years makes it far more difficult to prove what you earned. So let us bring it all together now with a quick summary by group so you know exactly what to check and what steps to take based on the year you were born. If you were born between 1943 and 1954, check whether you are on the right benefit record, especially if you are a widow or widower, and review your Medicare surcharge. If you were born between 1955 and 1959, know your exact full retirement age down to the month and understand that the 2026 earnings test limit is $24,480. If you were born between 1960 and 1965, understand what a 30% permanent reduction means in real dollars before you decide, and ask about the retroactive option. And if you were born in 1966 or later, open your Social Security statement at ssa.gov today and verify your earnings record year by year while you still have time. Subscribe if you have not already, and share this video with a parent, a neighbor, or a friend who is on Social Security, because one conversation can change everything. The information is free, the fixes are free, and the only thing that costs you money is not knowing about them. So pass this along, and I will see you in the next one.